Hello, welcome to today's video. We are on page 64, which is Unit 6 of the Play Piano Now book by Alfred. We're talking about playing some chords in Unit 6, and the chords are going to be, first we review C major. These three notes, C, E, and G, played together. Now it says to move finger number 5 to B, place finger number 2 on F, remove finger number 3, and now we have a new chord called G7. Let's play this exercise at the top of page 64, B for left hand. C, E, G, B, F, G, C, E, G, B, F, G. That is to be played twice. So far we know of two chords, C major and G7, 5, 2, and 1 on B, F, and G. Notice at the bottom of the page 64, it talks about not only the chords spelled out on the staff, but the chord symbols as well. C major, G7, C major, G7, C major. On page 65, we have some writing work. It says, on the squares above the staff, please write the names of the notes in each chord. So we have the note names in the chord itself, and just below that, we're writing the actual chord symbol, which is C or G7. Just below that, it says we're going to circle a G7 chord when we see it. Number 4, connect the dots on the matching boxes for the chord to its note names, and then, of course, to its chord symbol. And then at the bottom, number 5, it says write the note name of each note in the square below it. And this is just a review of note names. Okay. Let's go down to page number 66. We have a piece of music here called Merrily We Roll Along, tied notes. So we've already been introduced to the tied notes. It means hold one note for the combined value of both or more notes. We hold them together because they are all the same notes on the same lines and spaces. Let's go ahead and play Merrily We Roll Along. Let's do a run through first. Listen very carefully to my tied notes. Notice that the left hand is piano dynamic, while the right hand is mezzo forte dynamic. Here's a run through to listen to what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. The first step, we're going to clap and count the rhythm on our lap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice that I didn't remove my hand or clap it again because whole notes are tied together for the first two measures. So that's 8 notes in all, or 8 beats in all, to be held. Let's go to measure number 3 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next system. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. Now we're going to go ahead and clap and say the note name. Here we go. Let's go ahead and do it for the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. D, D, D. E, G, G. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. D, D, E, D, C, 2, 3, 3, 4, release. Let's review the chords for both pieces. Notice the chord symbols are written above the staff, just above the treble clef. That's the way chord symbols will be written when both treble clef and bass clef are included in a grand staff. Although the chord applies to the left hand, the chord symbol will be on top of the treble clef line. Let's go ahead and play and say these, or let's go ahead and say the chord names. 1, 2, let's go ahead and play and say them for the left hand first. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. Tied, 2, 3, 4. G7, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. Tied, 2, 3, 4. G7, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. Release. Let's now go ahead and play and say the note names for the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G, E, D, G, C, D, E, 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 D, D, E, D, C, 2, 3, 4, release. Remember, please practice every step many times until you completely understand it and feel comfortable moving on to the next step. The last step will be to put both hands together. If you would like to either say the chord name as you play or to say the note name at the same time while using both hands, please do so. Remember also, practice one measure at a time before moving on to the next measure. We don't want to rush through the music and make mistakes. Always practice correct notes. Never learn mistakes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. D, D, D with G7. E, G, G. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. D, D, E, D, C, 2, 3, 4, release. Now, we always want to play through the entire piece once we have learned each measure from the beginning to the end. Once you feel comfortable with both hands together, playing from beginning to end, begin then to use the metronome. Your tempo should be at 60. Go through the checklist of all the steps. Remember to always include your dynamics. You have piano for the left hand and mezzo forte for the right hand. Make sure that step is checked off, that you play the right dynamics. And the next step also will be to play the correct articulations. This whole piece should be non legato. Let's go ahead and move on to page 67. Largo from the New World Symphony by the Czech composer Antonín Dvořák. This is from his 9th symphony, which was written in 1893. He came to the United States. He really liked the place, and he made a symphony, or wrote a symphony, called the New World Symphony, which is the New World here in the United States. And he had the first performance in Carnegie Hall, which is in New York. Let's go ahead and listen to this piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and go over the steps. First, we're going to play and say the chord names for the left hand. Take a look that a lot of these chords are tied from one measure to another. Play them for the 8 beats that they are. Left hand first. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, release. If you need to clap and count the rhythm, then clap and say the note name, please do so. Let's go ahead now and play and say the note name for the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, G, E, D, 2, 3, 4. E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, D, C, C. Release. Remember to go over every step many times, including playing each individual hand many times. Once you are comfortable, let's put them both together, one measure at a time. Here's a complete performance. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, G, E, D, E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, D, C, C, 2, 3, 4, release. Please practice one measure at a time very carefully. Once you are comfortable, please use the metronome at 60 and practice with that. Then, remember to turn off the metronome, practice alone, and perform this piece for me at your lessons. I'm going to go ahead and play the sight reading exercises on pages 66 and 67. We will not review the steps. It is up to you to review the steps yourself. Here we go. Here's page 66. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for page 67. You may have noticed there was a decrescendo in that last one. Please practice well, and we will see you at next lesson.